Calaroga Shark Media.
Hey there, I'm Johnny Mac with 5 good news stories. Happy birthday to Nicky. Nicky turned 37. All right, why is that good news, John? I mean, why, you don't like Nicky? Nicky's a mandrill monkey who lives at the Phoenix Zoo and has been confirmed as the oldest mandrill monkey in the world. Nicky was born at the Oregon Zoo on January 13th, 1987, and has lived in Phoenix the last 6 years. Like anybody else, you get old, you want to get out of the cold weather, you move to Phoenix, right? Zoo officials told Guinness that Nicky is more than twice the 18.3-year median life expectancy of a mandrill. Nicky's half-sister Victoria lived to be 35 before passing away in April of 2022. Nicky's caretaker explains that my joke was on target. The caretaker, who is not named, says, "I think it helps not having harsh winters as the cold is hard on the joints. Her mandrill companions are also very laid back. She's adopted a good routine." The oldest mandrill on record was a female who was confirmed to be 40 back in 2004. Jem Baker wanted to have a family. She was diagnosed with endometriosis in 2017. That cut down her chances of conception. She was given only a 15% chance of conceiving a baby naturally. Strangers donated $13,000 for her to undergo IVF. She said, "My chances were slim. I hit a brick wall. It's soul-destroying." Jem's friend Jen set up a fundraising page to help pay for the IVF. This story ends well. Little baby Clover Iris entered the world. 7 pounds, 8 ounces. Jem said, "I wasn't incredibly fussy with sperm donors, but I have a thing for redhead guys and managed to get one. He's a baker and does charity work. He sounded grounded. The baby looks like me and my dad." Mike Boland puts on a one-man show. He also puts on a one-hand show. Mike has found ways to make light of his limb difference throughout his life. Last month, he took the stage at the Herberger Theater in Phoenix. To share more about his life, he said, "I have no problems having one hand. It's something I can't imagine having 2 hands. As I say sometimes, I don't know how you people walk around with those 2 things. It's not something I'm used to. My mom and dad were very supportive, and they never gave me a break because I had one hand. I was expected to do everything that my brother and sister were expected to do." As a teenager, he took up bowling and says, "I won my first state bowling title by the time I was 16. By the time I was 21 or 22, I was able to earn my PBA card and bowl on the Pro Bowlers Tour and be the first person with limb loss to do that. I don't bowl at all anymore. What I do now is I volunteer for the Arizona Disabled Sports. They have a bowling program, and I think I have more fun volunteering for the program at Arizona Disabled Sports than I ever did on tour." He also hosts a podcast called We're Not Stumped. Congratulations to Luke and his father, Mike. They have set the world record for world's fastest drone with an average top speed of 298.47 miles per hour. We got to get this thing to 300, guys. Let's try this again. The drone is called the Quadcopter Peregrine 2, replacing the Quadcopter Peregrine 1, which had reached 247 miles per hour. The drone is 3D printed carbon fiber, battery operated, and remote controlled. To get to the record, they flew the drone in 2 runs in opposite directions, demonstrating its ability to navigate tailwinds and headwinds. They clocked an actual top speed of 317 miles per hour and an average of 298.47. And I hope your mom didn't throw out your Star Wars figures, because an extremely rare Boba Fett figure was auctioned for $525,000. Heritage Auctions said the action figure is now the world's most valuable vintage toy, breaking the record from a Barbie bearing a 1-carat diamond that sold for $302,000 in 2010. This Boba Fett is hand-painted and fires the rockets. Remember when we all got Boba Fett? Boba Fett figures came out before Boba Fett was even in the movies, and we got these, and he had this cool rocket, and it was like, oh, that's neat. But there were prototypes where the rocket actually fired. If you're old enough, you remember in the 70s, there were a bunch of toys that had firing rockets, and then kids were swallowing the rockets and bad things happened, so then they stopped with all the rocket firing. Well, this is only one of 2 surviving examples made for Kenner's line of Star Wars toys in the 70s. Auctions Executive Vice President Joe Maddalena said the rocket-firing Boba Fett action figure from long ago became such a mythic icon that people worldwide know about it, even if they don't collect anything at all. We knew this one had a chance to enter the record books, and it was thrilling to see it become the most valuable toy in the world. A different Boba Fett, released in '79, sold for $84,375 in the auction. That figure was still sealed in its original packing. I mean, yeah, I get it. I'd like to have 84,000, but I also got to play with Boba Fett for 40 years. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you got to take things out of the case. And those are your 5 good news stories. If you would like this program ad-free, what you can do is look in the show notes. It says calaroga.com/plus. Click that. It'll take you to this cool website, and for $4.99 a month, you can get a custom feed without those commercials. And that $4.99 comes with a bunch of other shows on the network, including Daily Comedy News, which I host 7 days a week. You have an awesome day.